Hey everyone, Mike Sorelli here. We're dropping a special podcast in support of the 2023 Land Rover Defender Service Awards, namely the Veteran and Civil Servant Outreach Award, which is presented in partnership with Hearts and Science. The Veteran and Civilian Servant Outreach Award had an overwhelming number of applicants, for which we want to say thank you to all of them. It was a hard decision, but they've selected 5 finalists, and now we need your help to select the overall winner. Running a veteran nonprofit isn't easy, and it takes a deep sense of service and passion to selflessly serve those returning from war. In fact, a lot of these nonprofits are run by veterans who already served their countries. And as if that wasn't enough, they've made it their life mission to continue serving others. That's a noble path. I started a veteran nonprofit in 2016, and let me tell you, one of the toughest parts about it was fundraising. Fundraising isn't getting any easier, especially as we get further away from the end of the global war on terrorism, but it's much needed. That's why the Defender Service Award is so important, and why these organizations need you to vote. The winner will receive a customized Defender 130 model and $25,000 in cash. Now that goes a long way in serving their mission, but the other finalists won't go home empty-handed. They'll also receive a $5,000 cash prize. So to assist you in the voting process, I'd like to introduce you to the 5 finalists and then allow them to give you a quick overview of why you should vote for them. They are the Calgary Veterans Services Society, Heroes Homestead, Honor House Society, the Big Red Barn Retreat, and the Warriors Choice Foundation. Please remember, after watching this, go to LandRoverUSA.com to vote.
My name is Jason McEwen. I am the Vice President for the Calgary Veterans Services Society. I also run the peer support coordination as well as the VA assistance. Immediately through CVSS, we do have a food bank in Calgary and a food bank in Edmonton. We also have a wellness retreat out in Caroline. It's 140 acres with a nice lazy river running through it. You book a time, you go out and you just unplug. It's very nice. It's very relaxing. For support services, so starting with the peer support is the very first stepping stone in the process of self-help. With a peer support group, there's no counselors. It is basically you come and you get used to and comfortable in telling your story. A lot of people that come have never told their stories. A lot of people that come to the peer support groups are not comfortable talking. So the peer support is a way of starting, it gets that door open so that they can then be comfortable seeking professional help. One of the services we do offer, we do have a contract with a counselor. So we do have that step in-house, which is very nice. Beyond that, we have access to like the OSI clinic here in Calgary. There's one in Edmonton as well, and through that we're able to utilize a referral service and get our clients in to see actual professional psychologists and psychiatrists to further their mental health. We also have affiliations with several other, like many other groups. We have affiliations with groups that do service dogs. We have affiliations that offers temporary lodging for any uniformed personnel, whether they're current or retired, and it's available if you all of a sudden find yourself on the street. You need a place to stay while you get your feet under you. So here at CVSS, the primary reason we started was originally vets, and then they realized that no, frontline personnel as well need access to these same services. There's a lot of people that do not consider themselves frontline personnel. However, here at CVSS, we don't differentiate. So if you're a dispatcher, if you are a volunteer firefighter, you're a full-time firefighter, you're with victim services, like you are considered frontline in our eyes. And if you need access to these services, that's what we're here for. You get to hear all sorts of stories, and they're all personal and they're all tragic. There is no happy story for somebody to wind up on the streets. A number of our clients have confided that they actually had left home probably when they were 12. So their mental injuries started before they were in the military. They signed up with the military so that because there was structure, there was 4 walls and a roof, and there was food. And then when they got out, they still weren't coping well. And it became just a downhill slide to the point where 20 or 30 years later, they're now living on the streets. They're living in a car, they're living under a bridge. A lot of them do not talk about their time in, due to the fact that majority of the things that they would have to talk about and say would be very traumatizing to people that don't have the same background. As you can imagine, it increases that downward spiral till they hit bottom. A lot of our personnel do commit suicide. The rate of suicide among military and frontline is almost double what it is in the civilian population. It's very tragic, but it's reflective of the limitation of resources. And here at CVSS, that's one of the things we're trying to fix.
Hi, I'm Andrew Holstein, and I'm a United States Marine and co-founder of Heroes Homestead.
And I'm Danielle Holstein, his spouse and wife, and also a co-founder of Heroes Homestead.
During my term in service, I was part of an Osprey accident where we lost 19 Marines, one of which was my best friend. And to this day, we continue to lose veterans from that accident that survived. Myself is no different. I went over 10 years without treating or having a diagnosis on my own PTSD, which caused damage to my friends, my family, and even my finances.
And after that devastating blow to both our home and our finances and our relationships within our home, I was currently working in overseas adjustment workers in various countries, and I was seeing the same symptoms that I was solving for others in my husband. And through research, found that military make up the largest population overseas with the least amount of resources in adjustment theory. So Heroes Homestead was founded to change that. And what do we do?
Heroes has a lot of fun. We do a lot of peer mentoring, large-scale events. We do family integration where we help our veterans to celebrate being a veteran and for what they fought for again, and celebrating that freedom.
We want to give you permission to celebrate your freedom. You may not have lost your life overseas, but you very well sacrificed everything to be there for our nation and for the people that need you most across the world. And so by fortifying families, we are creating steady homes across America and therefore making a stronger home front here. We want to help the community receive our veterans home and help the families make that adjustment process as seamless as possible to prevent the suicide, prevent crisis altogether, and when needed, we'll intervene on your behalf.
Winning or being a finalist in the Land Rover Defender Series Awards is huge. It means so much to us. And if we are able to win, the Land Rover would be life-changing for our veterans here in Spokane and Washington in general.
We're going to improve access to resources throughout Washington, create provisions for disabled veterans through our Heroes Market,
expand resources, relief supplies, and outreach throughout the region.
We're going to improve participant experience through our Heroes Date Nights and also our Heroes Family Camp and increased experiences outdoors.
We're going to ensure relief, aid, and rescue anytime a veteran is in need.
And ability to transport families in crisis in a comfortable and easy access vehicle with capacity and cargo in the back.
Ultimately, the Land Rover is going to communicate our dependability throughout our community and throughout all of Eastern Washington and into Idaho.
Thank you for your support.
And we've got your 6.
Honor House Society in New Westminster is a home away from home for our Canadian Forces, first responders, and or their families. Many of them all reservists and give of all their time.
It's a blanket. It's something that's there to comfort when members and families are going through a tough time, and it means a lot to know that there's an organization out there that is willing and ready to take care of the members and their families that give so much to the communities around them.
So with Honor House Society, as the intake when they come to stay, as they're getting diagnosed and with treatment, Honor Ranch in Ashcroft, BC, on 120 acres, we have 10 cottages now, looking forward for another 10, and our lodge is there to be able to give the treatment that they so deserve. The struggle we have is that we're about 2 kilometers off the main area, and in Ashcroft it's as low as minus 35, and it can be as hot as 40 in the summer.
You gotta haul water, prepare for fires during the summer, and people back and forth from the main city of Ashcroft.
The vehicle I'm driving right now is a matter of sometimes hour to hour whether I'm going to get from point A to point B because it's wore out. If I get into a situation with it, even in four-wheel drive, I can't spin all four tires. There's times when I've left my place to come to the ranch and attend to business in the middle of the night, like power outages, water freeze-ups, and I've ended up having to call for help because my truck that I'm driving has let me down.
What I find here with the Defender 130, this vehicle will do everything that we absolutely need in our area in the North Thompson Regional District. Because as we're hauling equipment for either snow plowing or for firefighting for water with our volunteer firefighters and or our people helping us to plow our roads to be able to get our members in.
I think as fire chief looking in, I think it would mean the world to these guys to have this piece of equipment. What these guys do up here is simply incredible. For the Honor House Ranch to get that vehicle would make all the difference in the world for these guys up here.
It could be a matter of having Honor Ranch in the future or not having it. There could be a time without a vehicle like that we could lose this whole place because we wouldn't be able to get access to where we have to go.
Hey, I'm just checking in with you. It's Lamont Christian here. I go by Chris, 33-year combat infantry veteran with the United States Army. Served in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan. Culminated my career at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, as the Army's premier basic combat training installation, training over 60% of all the female warriors and over 50% of all the male warriors that join our Army go through that installation. And I was the post command sergeant major there, as well as the previous commandant for the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy. So really enjoyed my time in service and continue to serve, training to be a Richland County Sheriff's Deputy in the Reserve Division. And so still serving the community, as I call us, defenders of our nation, and also defenders of our community. Our combat veterans, our first responders, and their families deserve an opportunity to thrive, right? Turn their struggles into their strength. And so that transformative process happens out of the Big Red Barn Retreat. And we're able to do that on a regular basis through the different services and the post-traumatic growth training that we're able to provide. Our defenders wind up living a life of serving others. And so those challenges of their own lives oftentimes get put behind so that they can take care of the people that they care about. And when they forget about themselves, it's sometimes at the detriment of not only their own health, but sometimes even the family's health. We can change that legacy of post-traumatic stress and actually focus on post-traumatic growth, which ensures that our warriors, our defenders are able to go forward and really just be better and do better. When we have people in our community who are better, our communities are better. That's what we get to do out of the Big Red Barn Retreat every single day, is retraining people to take their skills and those things that help them survive on the battlefield and actually help them to live the life that they deserve and use it in a way that they can actually thrive. So when we win this gracious award from Land Rover, it will immediately impact our ability to not only transport, but showcase and deliver this process of post-traumatic growth, again, throughout the entire area of South Carolina, North Carolina, and of course parts of Georgia and even Florida. And let's just be honest, we're even gonna go beyond that as this thing continues to grow, so that we can ensure that more communities are aware of this whole process of becoming better and doing better. Hey, before I get back to serving our defenders, and I got to get out of this really nice Defender here at Land Rover, Greenville, South Carolina, my message to you all watching this today, oftentimes when I'm talking to someone and they recognize that I've served our nation or our community, they say thank you for your service. And I want to be able to say something today when we talk about being thankful is just thank you for your support. So on behalf of everybody out at the Big Red Barn Retreat, I want to say thank you for everything that you're doing and just sharing the message about what we're doing out at the Big Red Barn Retreat. You're helping us to continue to help those people that spend a lifetime helping other people. Keep the votes coming, please. We ain't done yet.
Warrior's Choice Foundation is a nonprofit, 100% volunteer that provides transitioning combat veterans with tailored service dogs, ancillary medical services, and recreational residential retreats. The driving force for me is because I was a veteran, I am a veteran, that when he got out of service and transitioned out, there was not much there for me. To see individuals who, in their willingness to sacrifice themselves for a country that means so much to the person to the right and left to them, that they're willing to give their lives, that when you come home, there should just be something that makes sense. And there should be a form and a standard of care that no matter what, you know that it's going to be the best that someone has to offer. And I believe that this organization does just that. The way I carry out the mission on a day-to-day basis for the Warrior's Choice Foundation as the executive director, it's nonstop from 4:30 in the morning, wake up, go train more with the dogs, and then from there, try to fill out ways of building out the rapport within the community, because that's where all this starts. A new Land Rover Defender would benefit the Warrior's Choice Foundation by providing a sense of reliability, being able to provide us with safety measures to and from various venues with our veterans, as well as being to transport our animals to and from various venues that we have to use for training so that they're up to par with our standard prior to dispatching them out to a veteran. The Land Rover Defender is going to absolutely be able to bolster our mission capabilities by providing us with access of not only just storage, but maneuverability, mobility, being able to keep things in a fixed position so that when we transport our dogs, we know that our crates are going to be in a very safe position, tied down. We're going to be able to transport equipment. We're going to be able to put roof racks on. We're going to be able to have lights for external lighting for when we're doing night training and things of that nature, especially even on our overland trips, for being able to provide that for our campsite and where we are and what we're doing. Yeah, I believe the vehicle's remote capabilities are indicative of our mission and being able to go above and beyond where we need to be to see the job done.
Well, guys, that's it. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Now, please go to LandRoverUSA.com and vote now. God bless you, and God bless our veterans.